students and faculty, family and friends, honored guests, and my graduating class of 2016. If I am not mistaken, all of you who have taken U.S. history in recent years at Shadyside have done a close reading of the Declaration of Independence. Do you remember the abundance of capital letters in that document? It almost seems like the first letter of every other word is capitalized. I always found this style quite amusing, and although I took the words themselves very seriously, for a while I found the author's liberal use of the metaphorical shift key almost a little silly. But in sifting through possible topics for this speech, I too was thinking in capital letters. I began the writing process looking for the one core takeaway that I got from Shadyside Academy, the primary lesson with a big L. In my first set of bullet points, I had more themes and ideas than I could count in two hands. What I quickly realized is that there is no one lesson to sum up the entire Shadyside experience. Every day, dozens have presented themselves to us, either as part of a curriculum, in a one-on-one conversation, or through the example of someone we admire. As this realization sunk in, I finally understood why the founders capitalized everything. They did so because they recognized the weight of their words, a weight which may seem far off to us, fitting for only great moments in history, but is actually present in the halls of Roe as well, in the grass of the far fields, in the seats of the hillmen. Lessons worthy of capitalization have reared their heads all throughout our careers here at Shadyside, even when we haven't noticed them, and they will continue to come forth in unexpected places for the rest of our lives. It is our responsibility to stay alert. We must open our minds and receive them, and then pass them on to others. For every moment is a new opportunity to learn, every day a chance to grow, and every person both a student and a teacher. The air at Shadyside is especially dense with these capital L lessons. Spend some time on this campus and you can almost smell them. Dr. Satula, the legendary philosophy teacher who retired 2 years ago, taught that personal career goals should be merely the scaffolding for the higher goal of improving the lives of others. Ms. Garvey helps us analyze not just how we write and how we think, but why we do, and what that says about us as humans. Mr. Weiss, who willingly points out his own flaws in class, teaches us to be honest with ourselves and take the truth of our weaknesses with humor and optimism. Lindsay Miller radiates kindness, showing everyone how to treat everyone with a smile and respect. Phoebe Thompson, stage manager extraordinaire and assistant director for the musical, has proved that Machiavelli was wrong. It is possible to be both feared and loved by the people you are leading. Then there is the rogue philosopher of our class, Noah Goldstein, who has shown us how to question everything. And there are so many more. Each of us has at least one uniquely personal message, which, knowingly or not, we project from ourselves like a book, the title properly capitalized. As I recalled these and countless other people who have shaped me, I was hit with a wave of love and gratitude for this place, a wave of deep nostalgia. I suppose that is to be expected at this time of year. A senior's final spring has got to be one of the most universally bittersweet phases of a person's early life. While we all have so much to look forward to, it is difficult not to feel we are losing just as much as we'll be gaining next year. I read that the word nostalgia comes from the Greek words nostos, meaning home, and algos, pain. The term was invented by a Swiss medical student in the 17th century, and the associated feeling was considered a diagnosable condition as recently as the American Civil War. The truth is, It would be a lot easier to simply detach from our sentimental emotions and live in the present with our eyes focused straight ahead. However, and I'm sure Mr. McCullough would agree with me, there are so many reasons to continue looking back. The past is too rich in capital letters to let go of. The smell of Memorial Hall. The sound of Mr. Azak's laughter. The green of this quad in all its springtime glory. These are things we will remember far into the future and be able to recognize instantly for decades to come. It only takes one of the 5 senses to bring out an onslaught of memories almost as vivid as the original experience. Step into the black box and you'll be back in front of an audience. Step into the basement of Baird and you'll once again be engaged in the frantic process of building robots. Drive past the faculty parking lot, and there you'll see Mr. Schlahetka giving us a good morning wave. Actually, he probably will be there. That man is dedicated. But along with... Yeah, thank you, Ms. But along with these memories comes a horde of additional colorations that the senses cannot contain. Opinions, emotions, lessons learned. Yes, the capital L lessons I've been talking about. There is the confidence we found during the fall play. Perseverance after every time that robot veered off the path. The way a simple smile and wave can brighten someone's morning. These are what make nostalgia such a useful emotion. Nostalgia brings forth the products of your mind's processing and compacting, little gems of warmth and wisdom, headlines in all caps. Let's try it now and see how powerful memory can be. Take a moment to remember 4th grade. You may not have visited the classroom in years, decades even, but I bet you can still picture it. Very likely you can also replay the details of a certain event you remember especially well. Perhaps it is a particular game of Foursquare, or the time you took advantage of a customer at your desk cleaning service and stole a William Howard Taft flashcard from the inside of Trip Callahan's desk. That could also just be my experience. But these moments stick with us because we learned something there, whether lofty and moral or simply a clue as to how to get the most out of living. I can tell you I have never stolen a presidential flashcard since. The past is also a uniting force. Shared fondness for shared experience puts us into lasting support groups that will continue to welcome us far into the future. How else do you explain the strength of our alumni community, or the instant bond we feel when meeting another Pittsburgher during travel outside of our city? We will always be the Shadyside Academy class of 2016, the class that brought in dogs for our senior prank. And we will find familiarity and comfort on this campus even after the majority of our teachers have left it. Mr. McCullough himself is proof that these feelings remain. He has spoken and written about his affection for Shadyside Academy, affection which has lasted even after all of his great travels and successes. We are fortunate that his sentimentality has brought him back here today. Nostalgia indicates a deep and sincere investment in our past. We remember what we cared about. We remember what brought us joy. We remember the things that appeared to us in capital letters, to continue the metaphor. What I think it means to truly live is to care deeply about something, to feel a passion and excitement for what you are doing, whether in a career, a role in your family, or in the hobbies to which you devote yourself. Living is loving, and Shadyside has given us a head start in that area, having taught us in a way that makes it easy for us to love learning. What we must do is continue to follow that spark of enthusiasm and listen to the dreamer that resides in each of our heads. If you love painting, don't stop. You may not go to art school, but you owe it to yourself to keep fanning that fire on the side. Find that thing which brings you joy. Do something that will be easy for you to remember years from now, something that you would write out in capital letters. The last, and perhaps most important thing we can learn from our personal pasts is how to be thankful. Nostalgia should keep us grounded and humble, for it reminds us that we did not get here on our own. We are the products of our parents, our families, our teachers, our mentors, our friends, our competitors, and even our more distant acquaintances. These are the people we must thank at every chance we get. Parents especially. They are probably the ones who deserve it the most and get thanked the least. Let's have a round of applause for them now. So be thankful and remember what others have done for you moving forward. Use that as motivation to give back to others in your life. My fellow graduates, let us go forward and do something small every day to make the world a better place. Let us live with purpose, see the weight and founding fathers style capitalization that exists in every precious moment that we have. Let us look to the future with optimism and use our past here as our guide. Thank you.